You know when that plays? You know when that
plays?
Oh, yeah. That's when some shit's about to go down.
When them cicadas start singing.
When that shit pops off, that's when you know there's some real shit about to happen. But before we get to that, hey everybody, I'm Lons. Across from me, but not across from me, is David Bullock, the DC Kanye stan. And this is the kind of anime podcast where we kind of talk about anime, except we always talk about anime because, you know, the world is shut down. So what else are we going to do? And I mean, since we can't do anything else, there's nothing else to talk about. So getting into our topics real quick, before we get to our main topics, I should say, I have to go back to the previous week where I spoke about a book, a light novel called 86.
86.
So if you happen to stumble across that episode, which hasn't been posted yet, but will be posted soon, if you happen to stumble across that before you came to this episode, you probably heard at the end of that, the latter half of that podcast, I shit on that book pretty hard. I said it was a terrible book. And I'm still standing by that for the most part. I know it, like I said, it had 5 stars on Amazon and actually won awards and shit. I don't necessarily agree with those. But maybe it's just because it's me. So one of my main issues when I'm reading any book, is not just the 86, is a book that head hops. And for those of you who aren't familiar with that term, it's basically when you constantly switch from character to character in a single novel. So you let's say you switch between like 5 different characters or something in the same chapter.
Go ahead. I know about that. That's in that's what happens in what's the book I talked about last week?
Not Wheel of Time, but it was like that one that you were talking about that was like horse shit and the guy thought he was all that.
What was it? Malazan Book of the Fallen.
Yeah.
That piece of shit series. I hate that first book, and I hate the second book because it's a little better, but he could do a little bit better. Same thing.
That's the head hopping.
Terrible. Nothing but in first book it's nothing but head hopping, and you don't know who's talking. You don't know why they're talking. It's just they're just having a conversation.
Yeah. That's like my biggest gripe with any book is when you constantly switch between characters. And the thing is, I don't mind a story being told from multiple characters' perspectives. I do mind when it's constantly switching within the same chapter, which 86 does like fucking crazy. Almost every other paragraph, you swap over to another character's perspective. And I have a very short attention span. Reading already I have to fully focus in order to be immersed into a book. When I get hit with something that has me jumping from character to character to character and having to remember, oh yeah, we're in a different character now. Oh yeah, we switched over back to this character now. Oh, we're over this character over here who's in a completely different space from everybody else. My head starts spinning and then I start losing focus. And then I start harping on everything I read in the book instead of, being immersed into the world and the story, which, mind you, the world itself and the story aren't bad. The themes and everything is all about, it's like it's about racism and shit, but and war. Those things drew me into the book in the first place. The premise of the book drew me into it in the first place. The execution, I don't necessarily agree with it, like I said, but other people apparently do. Like I said, it has 5 stars on Amazon. It's won an award. It's a heralded book, and I believe there's like 7 books in the series so far. Pretty much all of them, based off of rating alone, are bangers. They're all 5 stars, so 5 to 4.5 star for each and every book in the series so far. So I mean, there's something there that's good. I mean, like I said, I think the premise and everything, the setup was good. The execution just wasn't for me. I can't do can't do multiple characters. I can't do. There's two things I can't do. Matter of fact, there's two things I can't do in books. Multiple characters in the same chapter. I don't mind there being multiple characters. Just split it off by chapters or make it. Yeah, just split it off by chapters because my brain doesn't function like that. And over description of shit or too much like flowery dialogue describing settings and shit. Just tell me what the setting is and keep it moving from there. I don't need all the poetry in it. Those things take me out of stories instantly. And 86, unfortunately, they didn't suffer from the over description thing, but they did suffer from the head hopping thing. So will I ever read the second book? Probably not. The first one honestly ended at a point where it's like, oh, you can leave it here. It actually works out in the end. So kind of the ending, there doesn't have to be a sequel is what I'm saying. And if there's ever an anime of it, I would assume and hope that they would go ahead and cover the whole first book and leave it at that instead of trying to shove 7 books into one season. Because the way the first book ends is like, that's a complete anime season in my opinion. If you ever read it yourself, you'll know what I'm talking about, or anybody else who's read it would know what I'm talking about. Would I watch an anime of it? I would, and I'd probably recommend it to you, David. It's about mechas and shit. Oh, that's the other thing I didn't like about the book, the fight scenes. I don't really care much. Okay, so it took me a long time to care about mechas. David knows this. I used to hate the mecha genre. I hated everything that came out of it, Ava included. I gradually grew an appreciation for it, but only in a visual medium. I can't read about the shit because I don't care when I'm reading about 2 robots fighting and shit. I like to be, I feel like it's kind of detached from an actual, it just feels detached to me. Like when you have 2 robots fighting in a book, it doesn't evoke the same emotion in me when I'm reading like 2 human people fighting in a book. Just feel like I'm more involved when it's 2 humans, and I don't know. The fight seems more interesting to me. When it's robots, I don't really give a shit. But anyway, yeah, that's the 86. So it's not as bad as I said it was. Honestly, I found myself enjoying like the last 60 pages of the book. Just too many things kept me from fully immersing myself into the book. But anyway, we're moving on from the 86. David watched Akudama Drive. The first episode.
It was awesome. It was fucking awesome. Like it's pretty much I don't know how to explain it because it's so quirky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and like each character has their own like distinctive like quirk and how they do their combat and stuff. It's weird. It's like a fighting anime. Not a fighting anime. A fighting game.
Yeah. Like
you have each character have their own shtick.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I've only watched the first episode, but I get the premise. It's like this random ass girl gets caught up in this world full of crazy ass people, and she's basically riding the wave of chaos to whatever destination it draws her to. Yeah,
to survive because she was in a fuck situation, so she had to kind of lie her way out of the shit.
All she had to do was just use the coin on the ground and pay the lady for her food.
Yep.
That's all she had to do.
That's all she had to do. But no, she's such a goody that she wanted to give the money back to the person that lost it or dropped it when he couldn't care. He couldn't have gave 2 shits.
And even the police robot was like, "You have money in your pocket. Why don't you just pay the lady the money in your pocket?" Still, he threw her on the ground. Like he literally dropped her on the ground. He didn't want that anymore. Exactly. Are you stupid? Yeah. Are you trying to run a scam? Oh, go sit over there.
That's basically
until you figure out what you're trying to do with your life. Go sit over there and don't move. We'll get you.
Pretty much. Pretty much. I like one of the things I noticed about the show. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Psychopaths in the sense that these people, they have. I don't want to call it a crime coefficient because that's what it's called in Psychopaths, but they have it's a rating for them. What is it called? I forgot what it was called. Shit. Well, either way, they have a certain rating, and it's based off the amount of years that you'd be sentenced if you were arrested in a jail. it reminds me of, it's like a cross between, you know what it is? It's like a cross between Psychopaths and pretty much any like Jason Statham movie. Like
shit.
Crank.
Awesome.
There's so much crazy shit that just happens in it. And just to go back to last podcast again, I said 80s action movies. I meant 90s action movies because the Seven, which was the name of the first title or the first episode, pretty sure that was 95. The second one, like I said, was Reservoir Dogs. That was like 93, maybe. That was also in the 90s. They're based off of 90s action movies. My bad. I lied. I messed up. And Mission Impossible was the third episode. So I forgot what the fourth one is. But either way, that's besides the point. But yeah, it's like I think that's what they're paying homage to with the show itself, not just the episode titles, but like old 90s action films and shit. Because like I said, I was watching not the latest episode, but episode 3, and in my head, I'm just thinking, I'm like, the show really reminds me of Cranked or Transporter.
Yeah, it's like, I think it kind of got me when Bruh Man would not get off that motorcycle, and he just started going through the whole city, has grappling hooks in the motorcycle. Then you also have Bruh Man with the dreads. He just he's just sitting on this gigantic, massive pile of robots. He just started killing everything at the robots, and then you had the hacker guy. He was just like has little robots do his bidding, and last but not least, you have the doctor. She did open heart surgery on a random guy and then killed like 2 people. I was like, well, this show's awesome.
Yeah, for no reason, because they asked the question. You know another place that gets you killed for asking questions. We'll talk about it later. Don't worry. Continue.
The shithole town.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because I hate that place. As of episode 17, I hate this place.
Oh, don't worry. It only gets better.
Town.
It only gets better. / worse. Yeah, Akudama Drive. Like I said, it was. Did you expect it to be even? Well, I guess not because I told you about it. But I know like I said last week, me and you both were like, this show is going to be shit. It's Studio Parrot. They're just going to shit on it, or they're going to produce shit, and we're just going to shit on it once we see the first episode or whatever. Like I said, it's not shit. It's really not. It's actually probably one of the better animated season.
Yeah, I did not expect. Excuse me. I didn't expect it to be. The animation was fluid. The characters were distinctive, and the music was okay. The music was good.
Yeah.
So I didn't. It was like Studio Parrot is back to form.
Seems like it. I mean, I'm never putting faith in them, but it seems like if might be able to halfway look forward to anything else they put out in the next, I don't know, couple seasons or whatever. Yeah. Akudama Drive, if you haven't seen it yet, and you just like a note, it's pretty much a nonsense show full of action and decent characters. I wouldn't say decent. They're actually pretty good. I like all of them. They're criminals, but just keep that in mind when you watch. Don't expect them to be good guys in any shape or form. They're all terrible people. That's the point, though. That's the whole.
They're horrible people.
Yeah. Oh, they're terrible. They don't care. They kill anybody that gets in their way, or if they're fun, or money, whatever. Or for asking questions. So, moving on to a show that, doesn't get you killed for asking questions, but, kind of puts you in... Well, I don't know. How would you say with Great Pretender?
It is Ocean's 11.
Yes.
Meet... What else? It's a great con movie.
It's definitely Oceans. That's for sure.
Because bruh is assembling a crew to rob criminals.
Yeah, he's a confidence man, Lawrence.
Lawrence and
blonde-haired French dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that show actually caught me off guard because I was like, "Oh, it's on Netflix. It can't be that good." It was good. Like it was funny. I like the premise. Like this guy who never wanted to be a con man, who was wrapped up into the dark underworld and was forced to be this con man, someone he's pretending to be, right?
Yeah.
The premise of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically trying to make a career out of being like this con man. someone who he's pretending to be, because in reality he's just a salary guy who just got wrapped up in some bullshit.
Pretty much, he was innocent.
I love the premise. It's like, it's an anime that I think could, like, I can actually see this as a movie, right? You basically have the setup and then you just play it out like a whole movie, because they don't do anything like out of the ordinary, and it doesn't really take itself too seriously.
Yeah. And
I definitely see Quentin Tarantino like directing this. I don't know why.
Oh shit. I mean,
I think it had me with like when the lady stepped in for the FBI. Oh. And like everybody would just stood behind her with the middle finger or something.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that shit was funny. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
We had it good. God damn it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
They were big, man, boy. They were like, God damn it, she's messing it up. We get paid, man. We gotta do our jobs.
Yeah. No, I mean, with Great Pretender, I think a while ago I'd seen like the trailer for it, and I remember I saw a dude like hanging out of a plane or some shit. Either way, I was looking forward to it for a minute, but of course Netflix snapped it up, and I was like, well, guess I gotta wait half a fucking year before I get to watch this. No, because they actually released it a few weeks after it started airing in Japan. So they released the whole first half of it, which, mind you, there's 2 halves in case you didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think right now only Netflix only has the first half. They might have the rest of it by now. I don't know if did they have 2 seasons? Did it have 2 parts? I mean, did you know?
Let me go on Netflix,
because I've seen the whole first part. The first half I've already seen, but I didn't know if they released the second half because
they might have. It's been out for a while.
Okay. Oh no! It came out. This is still airing. I think they're on like episode 17 in Japan. It's supposed to be 24, 25 episodes, if I'm remembering correctly. Either way, I wasn't so surprised that I liked Great Pretenders. I was more surprised at the quality of the voice acting.
Oh yeah, that voice acting is awesome.
Go ahead.
Like, I was like, this is like, I don't know, what is it about anime this year? But the voice acting is like, the dubs have been amazing. Like, I don't know how to put it. Like, to me, the dubs have just been like I can never think, like, the best dubs I've heard are from like high quality anime, like Trigun or Cowboy Bebop or Outlaw Star, but it's like they're becoming more and more common. I don't know how to put it. Well, I think
part of it is just with time. Studios kind of learn lessons from previous attempts at dubbing anime, and I think the process has changed a lot. It's probably a lot more streamlined, which makes it a lot easier to focus on actual quality of the delivery of certain lines. And I think there's probably less crunch time. Maybe, I'm not sure. I think technology has a big part in that. I'd have to look that up, but
Great Pretender's up to episode 14, so it's only the first part.
Okay, yeah. So, back on the voice act, honestly, that was the first thing that really took me off. Caught me by surprise. I didn't expect to like the English voice acting as much as I did. Honestly, it's probably one of the best dubs I've heard. Period. Honestly, I was like, wow, I don't even have any desire to watch Japanese dub because I really don't need it with this. Might be perfect. There's not a single voice actor or actress that I dislike in the show. I think all of them do really good with the character that they're supposed to portray. And this is a bold statement. This is a real bold statement. But, we had Ava last season. Not last season, but like last year. And that redub, which, mind you, the first dub wasn't bad. That redub, though, was still like really solid. Matter of fact, I think it for certain people, because certain voice actors in the first dub of Ava weren't that good in my opinion. Some of them could have been done way better. And the second iteration of Ava with a new dub, I feel like that one. I think we've had this discussion, but I feel like the new dub is superior to the old dub, which is probably gonna get me lynched, but whatever.
I understand what you're saying. It's like it's the fact that the 14-year-old kids sound 14 years old, like their voices crack when they scream, and like it adds more. I don't know, because I heard that original dub and I heard the new dub. That new dub, I felt
there's more emotion.
Felt more emotion.
Yeah.
In that redub.
Yeah.
And when people started complaining about it, I'm like,
I don't understand.
There's nothing. I don't get it. It's like during the end of Ava, when Shinji had broke, right? After seeing Asuka's dead corpse, or the dead corpse of the Ava that Asuka was riding. And he just started wailing.
Yo, that fucking scream.
His voices just started cracking. I'm like, oh shoot!
Bro, it was that one and the one that you always allude to when they when Unit 1 was about to shut down.
Mm-hmm.
That scream. It's those moments that I'm like, this.
I must have run away.
Yeah. Yeah. Like those moments, I'm like, Netflix might have better dubs than Funimation. It's starting to become that to me, because like a lot of dubs on now, mind you, I haven't heard like a Funimation dub since what was the last anime I watched in dub from Funimation?
Oh well, they do. I think Funimation does dub ReZero.
Well, see, here's the thing with that. I'm never probably going to ever watch the fucking ReZero dub, because in my opinion, I'm not saying that the English voice actors or cast are bad. From what I've heard, just from this last season alone with ReZero, there are two people I feel especially that deserve fucking awards by the end of the season airing, or when they do anime awards or whatever. The Japanese voice actor for Natsuki Subaru, my God, like I don't understand a lick of Japanese really. I understand some things, and I don't understand their dialects or anything like that. But the emotion that man is able to convey in his screams, and just the dialogue he has to deliver during those really crucial scenes, or when Subaru's suffering and shit like that, I felt things. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then Amelia, when she starts snapping, when she goes crazy, and you like hear like the little and shit in her voice when she speaks, like the cracks and shit, I was just like, bro, if they don't win awards just for the voice acting alone off of this season, maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, which I probably don't, but I think they all did really good. Like, especially like the one scene that I always go back to with Amelia for her performance so far this season was the one when it was towards the latter half of season 2, part 1, when she was waiting in the trial area for Subaru to come back, and he lost his eye and everything, and just to hear how detached her voice had become compared to how she normally sounded, I'm like, that voice actress has range. They got range in the Japanese dub. So I'm not gonna shit. Like I said, I'm not shitting on the English dub. I haven't heard it really. I've heard some scenes from it, but I'm like, the Japanese dub is just so good to me. I'm like, I have no desire to really go and listen to the English dub, because in my opinion, I don't think they're gonna be able to sway me, because I'm that sold on the Japanese dub for ReZero.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like when I rewatched the first two seasons of I don't know how you call it. No, first season of ReZero.
Yeah.
In English, especially with that director's cut.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as I paid attention to the scene versus reading the text at the bottom of the screen. So you get to pick up a lot of like subtle nuances when it comes to like character direction, facial expression, things like that.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's that to me. That's what an English dub tends to do. Like it basically brings out the full potential of the anime because you no longer are limited to just reading the bottom of the screen. Like you can pick up. You don't have to pay too much attention to what they're saying because you understand what they're saying.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a given though. If you don't understand Japanese.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. I can like when we talked about the Ava dub, I always say it's like it's basically a different wine to a nice meal.
Yeah. It's not that it's bad. It's just a different type of wine.
Yeah, it's a different flavor of wine, and it pairs the meal and brings out specific notes out of the food. Yeah. That's all there is to it. But with the dub for The Great Pretender, for the episodes I've seen, it's like it really gives me, and again, the mark of a good anime is the mark of you basically talk about the characters and the mechanics of the world. When you just focus on those things, that's the mark of a good anime. And with this world, I really see the Great Pretender as like, I don't know. Do you think his crew is going to expand past those 3 members? Do you think the crew is going to keep expanding, or do you think it's just going to be this set of content?
So that will be a huge spoiler that I'm not going to give to you.
Okay.
Just go ahead and finish watching the first arc.
Okay.
Because
the LA connection.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So finish that first arc and you'll have your answer off gate. I don't want to spoil it, so just go ahead and finish it. I think you only got like 2-3 more episodes of that arc, I believe. Mm-hmm. I think. But anyways, it's basically an arc structure for this one. It you have different cases. Shit. Yeah, that's a spoiler if I tell you that. Never mind.
Okay.
Just know it's arc based. It's everybody's gonna get their due. Think about it like that. Everybody gets their time in the limelight.
Mm-hmm. I think I almost lost it when the drug dealer wanted Brumman to start cooking up the the candies.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, "Oh no, I have to make this in front of him. I just can't walk away with $10 million."
I was like, dude, come on now. You know it wasn't gonna be that simple.
I was like, bro, you know darn well you couldn't just walk away with $10 million, and any chemist would have just looked at this and say, "This is nonsense. How much did you pay for this?"
That's the thing. Like that dude, the fucking director dude is an idiot. He's a fucking idiot.
Like you didn't there were like specific chemical with like he didn't even run the candy underneath like specific drug tests, like a mass spec. Like he's paying $10 million for this.
I guess he just got the money like that.
Just take like a little piece of like, whatever he has in that baggie, do like a simple drug test, and check to see if it's quality. I was like, what?
Nah, man, he spent good money. He was like, nah, I want to see you make it. Let me see. I would have been shitting myself.
Oh yeah.
I'm so fucked. I'm so fucked. These niggas are gonna kill me.
In a dark ass warehouse in the middle of nowhere where no one knows where I am. I would have said, oh no.
Where he has the fucking cops paid off and shit.
Oh no, you would have started smelling something after a while because my hands be shaking like.
Oh yeah. I mean, he played it off good though. He played it off. He's like, yeah, I can't work in this environment. I need clean. I need it to be clean. You don't make what is it? What is it? Something magic. What did they call it? I forgot.
Sakura magic.
Sorry, yeah, you don't make Sakura magic in a fucking dingy closet. It needs state of the art equipment and shit. And the dude just bought it all up. I was like, this nigga spent $10 million on the drug alone. Now he's about to drop another 3 on making a state-of-the-art facility for this shit.
Bullshit. Man, if I was in that room, I said, boss, you don't need to have no state-of-the-art. You just need to have a clean area. Exactly. Why do we need state-of-the-art equipment?
But he would have killed you. He would have killed you. Like, why are you talking?
I would have said, boss, we have glassware. We have an autoclave. We're good.
Somebody shut that nigga the fuck up. That's exactly what would happen to you. I'll tell you that right now.
Hey, boss, did you put a drug test on his first sample yet? Somebody come kill him.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, that man doesn't like. He doesn't like dissension. He does not like people dissenting.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have to. I wouldn't work for him because I would be like, boss, we're making candy. This is candy.
The day you meet him and he wants you, that's it. You're just stuck. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Like, boss, I'm telling you, this is candy.
Fuck you.
See?
I saw what I know what I saw.
It's candy.
Saw homegirl start flipping the fuck out. He was like, "Oh, that's some good shit."
Boss,
I want all of it.
Fuck, I'm telling you, this is candy. Like, look. The same chemical equations is in this cookbook.
Here, I'm eating right now. I'm sorry. Seeing shit happen.
See? Ain't nothing happen. It's candy. In fact, it's this candy.
Matter of fact, nigga, have you ever had Altoids? That's what the fuck it is. They're fucking Altoids. They even come in the same box. Oh, you know what? Fuck this shit. I quit. This nigga's a dumbass, y'all. Fucking make these terrible ass movies and shit. I'm out. Fuck all y'all. Fuck all you people. Well, yeah. So, Great Pretenders. Once David watches more of it, I guess we can talk about it later. Because I think one of my favorite arcs, you won't get to it till it's the third arc. So far, it's my favorite. I've only seen the first 3 arcs because the rest of it hasn't been released yet. But the third arc is probably my favorite. I ended up, because I was watching episode by episode each night. I mean, one episode a night. The third one, I couldn't help myself. It was that good to me that I binged it. So it gets better. It's already good. It's already really good, but it gets better from where you're at. Yeah, I think that's it for Great Pretenders. Higurashi from beginning to end, at least for the original series, I've never seen it from beginning to end. I've seen parts, like mainly some of the most extreme parts. I don't want to say right now because I don't know if David, you've seen all of it though, right?
Seen the first 12 episodes of the first season.
Okay, well,
that's what I can remember because I think I watched this illegally back in early 2000, right? You know, when streaming services weren't as prevalent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in 2008. I remember.
Right. Yeah. For me, I'd never watched a full episode of Higurashi. Never. Like, not even once. All I'd ever seen of Higurashi was YouTube videos of like some of the deaths, and some of the crazy moments in the show. I never had a desire to really watch it because, in my opinion, at the time, I always thought that Higurashi, for a long time actually, not even at the time, all the way up until I started watching it, I always thought it was just a meme anime. I just thought, oh, people just like this because of the memes that come from it. I never thought it was a legitimately respected story at any point. I never thought that. I never knew that people actually really enjoyed it. And watching it, I can say 2 things. One, once again, this is something that is definitely 100% not for the fuck everybody.
No, it is not.
No.
It is on the same level as Shiki. You remember watching Shiki?
Yeah. No, I remember we marathoned that whole shit in one day. No, I remember that.
I think this is better than Shiki.
Oh yeah, no, it is. It is. No, I agree. I 100% agree with that. Yeah, no, Higurashi is probably. I'm trying to think of other horror anime I've seen.
It is basically what I bet you.
Okay,
the creator of Re:Zero.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Watched this and said, "What if I can take this time cycle, time loop principle, and like insert a good and use this in a fantasy setting?"
Yeah, exactly. Yo, I thought the same shit because I was just running that through my mind this whole time I've been watching this whole week since I've been watching the show. I was like, I wonder if Re:Zero was inspired by this because it draws a lot of parallels, not in terms of like character, but in terms of like the crazy shit that happens to people, but you can continue to do it because there's a loop that goes on. So you can show all these shitty ass situations and just make a character's life a living hell and
it's like
make a really solid mystery.
This show is like, I kind of like these time loop shows. Like, it's like a painting, right? Mm-hmm. It's a painting that you only get like 5 minutes to watch, 5 minutes to see, right? Mm-hmm. So each loop is another 5 minutes to look at this painting. Mm-hmm. And the more you look at the painting, the more detail you get out of it. Like you see like these horrible things in the background, or like these sad faces. It's like the premise of the show is like these happy-go-lucky classmates do stupid shit in the classroom, but like on the surface, it's all happy-go-lucky, happy, fun, joy times. Mm-hmm. But deep down, everyone's broken, and everyone is a victim of horrible crimes of this shithole town.
For the most part.
That is like, I don't care anything about a curse. I don't care anything about the Cotton Festival. This is a horrible town, and this is a town full of broken people, and these broken people have broken these children.
Well,
and
that's their culture. That's the nature of this town. This is what they were born and grown into or from or whatever. This demon, it was a demon village at one point, allegedly, according to their legend. There was a demon village. They are descendants of those demons, so they live accordingly.
And like this show, I hate this town, but I love this show.
Oh yeah, no, I hate these people in this town, but I love the show.
As of the fifth arc, I hate every single person in this town.
Oh yeah,
I hate them. Yeah, they're all terrible.
They're horrible people. They're all horrible.
Is horrible.
Yes.
It's like even the little girls, even the lollies, are deep down, they're horrible people.
Okay, so
deep down.
It's hard with them.
I know they're victims of like of parental abuse and stuff like that.
I would say rather than call it labeled to children as horrible, I would say they're more. I don't want to say products of their environment. I had the word earlier. I forgot what the fuck it was. Oh, damn it. They're twisted. I would say they're twisted individuals rather than horrible. And I guess it does lend into them being a product of their environment. Clearly, it's highly stressful living where they're living.
Yeah. Like, you can't even, like, date certain people outside the family. Like,
no.
You have to be like, if you start asking questions about murders in the town, like, shit goes left.
Yeah.
Real fast. It's like, I think I lost respect for this whole town when they had to kidnap that little kid because the prime minister wanted to build a dam and the dam would flood the town. So they kidnapped his grandson and held him for ransom. And I was like,
there's a twist there.
I know, because it was like, the prime minister already made a deal with the town, so the detective didn't even have to go out there. Like,
none of what that episode, nothing that happened in that episode had to happen.
Like his wife, I don't know what about his wife, because his wife, she seemed like she just got broke ankles because
I got so mad at that scene.
It's like she just gave up on her ankles. Just said, oh, "Okay, that's enough."
I got so mad at that scene.
And she just didn't want to hold on to the rail.
Bro.
I'm like, so the rail is poison.
That's not even the main issue. Where the fuck was the nurse? That is a fully pregnant woman. Why is she up on a roof by herself?
How can a whole town function with all these cut phone lines? Like, what if something horrible happened?
Well, I know why Rika did what she did. She did it because, one, she had already... I'm pretty sure that was the second time she had gone through that loop. I'm pretty sure it was because she's called Hondu Tomoyaki number 2 or something like that. Mm-hmm. She did it because she already seen what it did to him the first time he saw it. I'm sure it wasn't good, so she figured, yeah, let me just let you focus on the here and now right now because you call your... I told you to go... She gave him the warning the first time, take your ass back home to your wife or you're going to fucking regret it. And he didn't listen. So she was like, okay, I already know what this call is going to do to you. So let me go ahead and snip these fucking lines. Because who's
He's like, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Just because focus on here.
Who's to say what him finding out then and there would have driven him mad at that moment. And the villagers, you know how they get with certain people. you start acting a certain way.
You don't give homegirl that doll, she's gonna start crying.
Oh my god.
Boy, when I said, when you told me all this shit was starting over a doll, I said,
okay.
Are you kidding me?
All right, so hold on. Before we get there, because we just kind of freestyling right now. Let's put some structure into this. So we're gonna start from the first arc of Higurashi. We're gonna talk about the first arc, which is I think episodes 1 through 4. Mm-hmm. So we have Keiichi rose up in the village. I forgot the name of the village.
He's a transfer student. Typical transfer student rolls in.
Right. He
has a group of quirky friends.
Yeah. So everything was going well for homeboy Keiichi. He moved from Tokyo into this new town. He starts learning about some things about this town. One, there was a dismemberment of a person.
There was a murder.
There was a cold-blooded murder and torture. Let's not forget the torture aspect.
The whole temple full of torture artifacts.
Right. Because for him, he's only been in the town for about a month, I believe, up until this point. He'd only been there for a month, so he didn't know much, but he made friends with everybody and stuff like that. He starts to learn some things, and he starts asking questions of his friends, his the people that he trusts and has hope in, and expects to have his best interest in mind. Mm-hmm. He starts to confide in him, asking him like, so what happened before I got here? And the friends have some strange little
responses.
There's just some things they don't really want to talk about, it seems like to me.
And it's like asking like, hey, a guy was talking with me the other day. He was like, there's a murder. Could you guys talk about the murder? We don't talk about the murder, KG. There's nothing ever happened here. You need to stop asking questions.
Right. Shut your fucking mouth and just live your life. It ain't got nothing to do with
you. Be happy. We're doing club activities, KG. We don't talk about the dismemberment here in the club activities. If you keep talking about that, there are going to be consequences.
Right. But the problem is, here's what really screwed Keiichi. And I've learned this about this dude through these 3 arcs. I mean, because over the 3 arcs, you see his relationship with that private investigator. Mm-hmm. What's his name? Oishi.
Oishi, yeah. Private investigator is a shit.
He gets him. He is 100%. He gets him into trouble each fucking time, especially
because he forces
week.
Keiichi to lie to his friend,
and that does not sit well with them. Every fucking time. And in this first one, the first loop that we see, Oishi pretty much turns Keiichi against the town, and Keiichi's paranoia only gets worse until a point where, well, let's just say his friends didn't really help in that regard, because then they started fucking with him like hard.
And I mean, like, going to his house in the middle of the night, feeding him needles.
Bro, I saw that fucking needle and that fucking meatball. I'm like, at the next day at school, I'm running fades. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about the gender at that point.
Hey, man.
I don't care about the age.
That, bro. Practice is sweet.
Bro, I'm telling you, I get a needle in my fucking meatball that could have killed me. I don't care if you have a Y chromosome or nothing but X's. I don't care if you come up to my waist or are 2 feet taller than me. I'm swinging on everybody up in that bitch who thought it was a funny idea. I don't care anymore at that point. And
when I saw that needle, I said, these bitches tried to kill me.
Bro, and he snaps and starts throwing the meatballs against the wall. I'm like, oh, no, fuck that. I'll throw them in the trash. And I'm just going to have a mental note. I'm like, oh, I got some for your asses tomorrow. Trust me. I don't forget. I ain't forgetting shit. And it was like, oh, how was the lunch? I'm like, oh, no, the lunch was great.
You made that?
I mean, he did get to that point eventually, but he's like, which one of y'all made the fucking meatballs? Who put the needle in it? And she was like, oh, I gave you a quiz. Who you think did it? I was like, oh no, you know what? Fuck this.
Oh, this is a game. This is a game.
Oh, this is funny.
Oh, okay.
All on me, right? I'm swinging. I don't care anymore. Give me the fucking bat. It's like, wow.
And like the cop was like, this show can be hilarious at times.
Oh, it is hilarious.
Because like when he started looking at bitch, and everyone was asking like, Keiichi, why are you swinging the bat? Why are you being so mean?
Bro, Keiichi was like, I ain't playing games with your hoes. Like, I'm done. I'm done. You're not killing me.
Today.
He literally said that, though. He literally said that. He said, oh, you think it's going to be as easy to make me disappear as it was for Satoshi? Oh, no, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm going to fight. I was like, hey, Keiichi, you got it, bro.
When Bryce that bad,
Yo,
he pressed his swing.
The fucking foreshadowing. Like, that man was getting ready for that day.
Should have went. Oh God in heaven!
That man wasn't playing games anymore. He was like, you know what? Fuck this. He's like that bat, and that bat shows up more than once. Oh my God, that bat!
Oh, that bat is a magical artifact, man.
Hey man, it was sent from Little Sucker himself. That's exactly where that bat came from.
That thing smites evil, man.
Well, yeah. So the first arc, we don't get too much in the ways of like what the fuck is going on in the first arc. All we know is these people were crazy here. Keiichi snaps and beats the shit out of his two friends. He beats the living shit out of them with the bat. Well, no, he beats them to death. Not the living shit. He beats them to death.
No. Come up to him with a machete, and she thinks she rushed.
Hey, no, I'm gonna show you.
Keiichi said, "Oh, okay, all right,
Bro,
I got you."
My thing was, why did they try to hem him up? I'm like, why are y'all doing what you're doing? Leave this man alone.
Right, because Lonnie, they are possessed by the demon.
But that's
the demon,
just it. Oh, go ahead.
Because I think like this demon's like, it takes like one seed of doubt, jealousy, and it just like grows it to epic proportions, to a awful conclusion.
Now
that's what this demon does.
Now, here's the thing about the demon. I don't know if there is a demon.
I don't know. That's like, I don't like. That's a question too, because like, I don't know if everyone should. But there's
something going on. Yes,
it's some sort of magic or trickery that's going on here because the Daves are repeating themselves, right?
Yeah. No, that's 100%.
None of it, it's like the little girl. She knows like what is going to happen in a 4-year cycle, right? Yeah. She knows what happens. Like she knows who dies in what order and how they die.
Right.
But
and she knows the disaster at the end too.
Exactly. She knows that everyone dies at the end. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I think there is a demon because okay, so in the second arc, wait, what's the second arc? So the second arc,
let me see.
That's when
you meet the twin, Shion.
Yeah, that's when Shion goes crazy.
No, she doesn't go crazy. No. So, okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't.
That's when Keiji he goes to the temple.
He goes in the ritual hall.
In the torture palace.
Yep.
And he lies about going to the torture palace.
Yep.
And is Shion and Neon, right?
Shion and Mion. Yeah. Mion.
Yeah. And like he finds out that Shion and Neon are like twin sisters.
Yep.
And like the jealousy of Shion for Neon, it just spikes. So she just goes on like a murder rampage because A, she didn't get a doll, and B, she was lied to. So she just murders everyone.
Yeah, there is a twist and a half there.
Yeah.
No. I mean, like literally a plot twist. Like the fifth arc, which you're on now, the episode 17 on. I mean, 16 on, I should say. Episode 21. The amount of shit that you're about to see and witness, David. I was like, the twist was pretty much presented to you in the first part of this, which is episode 5 to 10, I think.
Mm-hmm.
No, 8. 5 to 8. In episode 8, you find out what the twist. You find the twist already. You already know what the twist is. The revelation in episode 16 on.
Mm-hmm.
I told you about the doll. I know what I said about the doll. What I said about the doll wasn't necessarily 100% what I thought it was at the time. If that, it doesn't make sense. I know it doesn't make sense, but it will make sense when you see it again, when it comes up in topic again. Because what you're watching right now is basically go back to episode 5. Where you're at right now, you basically, after this whole little Satoshi thing incident, it's going to take you back to episode 5 and retell the events from episode 5, but from a different character's perspective. Which in this case, I believe, I won't say. Anyway.
Please let it be Rena. Because Rena is like, she is like the detective.
Oh, Rena? No, it's not Rena.
Man.
It's not Rena. It's not Rena. I will tell you that. It's not Rena.
Man, when you telling me when she got in the back of that police car, she just basically broke down that police, his whole like, you don't really like Keiji. You're just trying to use him to get information from the Yakuza family because da 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 da. I'm like, how is she getting all? I kept saying, how is she drawing all these conclusions,
bro,
from these little pieces of evidence?
I think on the arc I'm on, the 6th arc, which is episode 22 to 26, which is the rest of the season, I think we finally get Reina's perspective. I'm so curious about her because I don't know what the fuck her problem is. I've seen everybody up until this point. I know the deal with everybody up until this point.
Like
she is the only enigma.
Like the twins are like horrible. Like one twin is like the head of the Yakuza family. The other twin has got thrown away.
Yeah.
I think what's her name? Rika is the priestess.
Yeah.
Of one of the big families. So she's like and
she's the one
medium.
And she's the one who knows about the loot.
She's the one who knows about the loot. Keiji is just a highly intelligent young man.
You're right.
Who needs problems. Like he's like,
really smart.
He's super smart, but he needs to have it in a certain context in order for it to make sense.
Yeah.
And what's her name?
Satoko?
Shoko is the victim of multiple instances
of abuse.
Of abuse, and her parents were killed by the town because they were proponents of the dam building.
Right. Yeah. So this arc that you're on, I'm not sure. I don't know, honestly. I don't know. But we're not going to. I
don't know, but I think like past this arc of the greatest scene of all time when Shoko started shaking the ladder when Keiji was trying to climb it.
Oh fuck. Yeah, when you mean Mion.
Mion, there we go, Mion.
When she started shaking that fucking ladder and Keiichi was up there.
He got off that ladder and got on his hands and he started questioning life.
Bro, the amount of frames they used for that scene, I was just like, this scene is fucking amazing. And you get to see it again. You get to see it again in the arc that you're on now.
Man, it's like the comedy here. I know that's not trying.
It's not supposed to be funny, but it is.
He's like, it's perfect. Like he just climbs the ladder trying to get to the second story. He's like, all right, hold the ladder, and then she just has a mental breakdown.
Exactly, but I knew it was gonna happen. But I knew that was gonna happen. But you're gonna find out why she has that fucking mental breakdown in the next couple episodes. Actually, you're gonna find out. The mental breakdown makes a lot more sense once you get the context.
This is comedy gold.
His face was comedy to me. When he looked at her when she switched up on him, I was like, "Yeah, that bitch crazy, bro. You need to go."
Oh my god! I was like, "Wow!"
I was like, "Yeah, that is a That is a loony bitch, bro. I'm sorry, man. You're gonna have to. You got to walk away from that one. I don't know what the fuck her problem is.
And in the fourth arc, we get the what's her name? Her big brothers. No. Yeah, we get Keiji solving.
That's the third arc.
Yeah, that's third arc.
Keiji pretty much takes the place of Satoko's brother. Pretty kind of.
Mm-hmm.
That one
was good. Like I was.
No,
like,
it was.
What if you do a murder, right? And like you do a murder to solve a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Then in the next day, like it never happened,
bro. So I'm gonna say right now because I still don't know the answer to that. I swear up and down, Reina and Mion were fucking with him. They were fucking with him because when they told him, yeah, you were with us at the festival the whole time. He asked Rika. He was like, so did you see me with them? And she was like, no, you weren't there. They clearly, because Satoko and Rika did not know he was there, and he wasn't.
No. When I thought like when he came in the next day, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were all like spinning his alibi because they all knew like, the quote unquote curse did him in, right?
Yeah.
Keiji was there at the blah 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 because of this time and the place and thing. Like they were basically spinning his alibi. But when he started like asking questions, like I wasn't there. Like I was doing something else. So you all know this, right?
That's the thing. That Mion and Reina were the ones who spun that tale for him. Because they did dig up that body. He did kill somebody. He 100% killed somebody. And they were 100% investigating that shit. They knew he killed somebody, but he was lying about the shit. They knew that. Reina and Mion knew that. So they covered for him. They dug up that body and moved it to a different location. So when Detective Asshole showed up, there was nothing to really pin on Keiichi.
Mm-hmm. And it was up to Keiji just to be quiet and just let the story go.
But you gotta think about it from his perspective. He's like, I killed a man and he's still beating his daughter's ass. What the fuck is happening? I understand where he was coming. He was already paranoid because he murdered somebody in cold blood. But on top of that person is still alive. Like that would drive me insane.
Like it didn't solve the problem.
No.
That was the insane part. It's like, what is happening? I dealt with this problem yesterday.
Yes.
There's no way this should still be a thing.
Exactly, bro. And the thing is, it comes full circle because oh shit, hold up. I think, and I'm saying it comes full circle because Detective Asshole knew to go there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost 100% positive that Detective Asshole is the uncle that was beating Satoko's ass. Because that was his voice that answered that phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking Keiichi killed somebody who he thought was the uncle.
But he wasn't the uncle.
He killed the wrong man. He killed the wrong man, yes.
Because every time they see that detective, everyone's like, oh, it's him. He's back.
And remember, Satoko's uncle was gone for a minute, and then he came back. Everybody, that's like you said, everybody noted, like, oh, he came back. I'm almost 100% sure Oishi, Detective Asshole, is the actual uncle, the one who's beating the shit out of Satoko. And it made it abundantly clear to me in that third arc, the way he was treating Keiichi. Like, he was manipulative, he was abusive. Those are all signs, or not signs, but like traits that the uncle of Satoko had that they mentioned. So,
he was abusive to Keiji for no reason. Like why?
Well, to get what he wanted. He wanted to show paint him in the murdering light. So he abuses children to get what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, yeah, it's definitely him. Because especially with that phone call. I was like, ain't that Oishi? I'm like, that's his voice. I think they did a little thing where the dude who we thought was the uncle and Oishi both had the same voice actor. So I think they did a little play on that just to fuck you up even more. But I'm almost 100% sure that the uncle is Satoko. I mean, Oishi is Satoko's actual uncle. Keiichi killed the wrong person. Reina and Mion covered up for him because
got that body up.
Yeah, they moved the body. They moved the body. The other reason why I'm saying this is definitely a cover up on their part is because this happened before with Satoko's brother Satoshi.
Mm-hmm. And they basically didn't want the same thing to happen to their new friend.
Yep. So they covered him up. They covered up for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, this show, the way they fucking weave these fucking plot points together, it makes everything make sense. Especially when you watch this arc that you're on now, when you finish it. Because remember the butt fuckery of the second arc, how it ended. Mion stabs Keiichi and runs away or some shit. Mm-hmm. And kills Shion, pushing her out the fucking balcony.
Mm-hmm.
And remember how Detective Asshole was like, yeah, there was two. Actually, both the sisters were dead. Mion and Shion. He's like, yeah, there's too many dead bodies moving around for me. There might be an actual demon. Nigga. When you get the reveal on that shit, I was like, oh, this is what we're doing. Oh shit. I was just like, man. That one, the fifth arc, fifth arc by far, all of them have been good, but by far, so far, out of the five that I've seen, that fifth one was the best one because of all the revelations that you get. And I mean, the arc itself is even called the eye-opening arc or whatever. So it definitely opens your eyes because you're going to be like, oh shit. It puts a lot of perspective for you. You're going to understand the story a lot more when you see this arc. Finish it. I mean.
So my last thing about these arcs. Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you think you can beat these arcs?
Can I, if I was inserted into this?
Like, can they be beaten? Right? We know in ReZero, Natsuki Subaru, his method of beating these arcs are accomplishing some nebulous tasks, right? Mm-hmm. In Natsuki Subaru's situation, the arcs play out. If he does nothing, the order of events will happen. He dies. Mm-hmm. Exactly like the order of events are set in stone until he puts action to them.
Yeah, until he does something that causes a slight deviation, everything's going to play out exactly as it always does.
But in this show, right?
Yeah, they're different.
Are the events set in stone until someone pushes or adds some deviation to them?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think they're set in stone. I think there's only one thing that's set in stone. It's that gas leak at the end that kills everybody.
That's the only thing that's set in stone.
Everything else, up until this point, think about how different the arcs played out each time.
And I think that's like
the people are the only thing that change. Not that final disaster. It's everything else that changes. The people are dynamic. That thing at the end is static. That doesn't change at all. That's always prominent. That's the main issue.
And I think that is the difficult. Like, if you're a character in this show, mm-hmm. that's the horror. Because number one, you don't remember the previous cycle.
No, they don't know. There's only one person that knows. And
number two, things happen. Like, nothing is set in stone.
Right, because it changes. Each arc has been vastly different.
Vastly different. Like,
well,
it's like a branch. Like, each things. Arc has a branch point.
Well, yeah. Just one quick thing, real quick. There's only two things that have remained the same: that gas leak at the end, and the death of the nurse woman, the one who was snooping around the places she shouldn't have been, And the photographer,
super suspicious Sarah?
Yeah, sure. Let's go. Yeah, her.
Super suspicious Sarah
I think her
got
name
a
is.
bite.
Yeah, I think her name is Takano or something like that. Takano and the photographer dude. Mm-hmm. They always die.
Always.
They always die. They always die as a result of the curse. The gas leak in those two deaths are the only two constants. Oh, and Satoshi being dead. Those are the only constants in the show. Or, well, Satoshi is spirited away, dead, whatever.
No. He's not spirited away, Lonnie. He's demoned away.
Okay,
right?
Demoned away. He's demoned away. Either way. But yeah, those are the only things that are constant. But continue what you were saying, if you remember.
Like I said, like, that's the difficult part about this entire story. That's the difficult part. This difficult of beating this curse. Mm-hmm. It's because again, no one remembers the story arc, so no one can learn how to beat it. No one can learn anything.
Only one person.
Only one person can. And C, everything happens in a slightly different way, so there's no way you can actually practice anything because everything is always a brand new lesson.
And that's the thing. That's the thing with dealing with people. People don't always react the same way, the same time. Like, if we and you were stuck in a loop, we would not do the same thing if something slightly different happens. It's because we're people and we have a brain.
There's branch points, right? Yeah. So, like with Natsuki Subaru, he is the rock in the river, right? He's the one that disturbs the surface of the water.
Right.
In
Higurashi.
In this town, Higurashi.
Well, the town is Hinamazawa,
Hinamazuri. In Hinamazuri, we don't know
Hinamazawa.
What
Hinamazawa.
Hinizawa. We don't know what. We don't know what that rock is.
Oh, we do know,
right?
We do know.
Well, we do know is Rika, right?
Yeah, she's the rock. She's the one who can ripple the water.
But her effects aren't powerful enough yet to cause a break in the cycle.
Exactly. That's the problem.
She has to do something. Like, we don't know what she has to do, but she has to, like, I don't know. It's like, because these people are so broken, right? Mm-hmm. Like, she can tell Keiji, just tell the truth, dog. If you tell the truth, we won't be suspicious of you.
Well, I think part of that was what she was doing in that, was it the third arc, I think? Where she was like, you guys can be forgiven. Like, because they used that analogy, but we knew who the fuck they were talking about. And she was like, I'll forgive you. I don't want to kill you. If you feel bad, then okay. We'll leave it at that. You don't have to die. She's been doing things, like, it's been slight, but she's been doing things in order to prevent death, in order to, I guess, try and break the cycle. But my thing is, because she ends up, like, brutally fucking murdered.
Like,
at the fucking shrine.
Like, it was so bad, because I was like, because when Rena. I think this is the third arc. When Satoko, when she ran away from Keiji, right?
Because she thought he was a murderer.
She had a valid point.
Yeah, no, she did.
Why is he running around with the axe?
A bloody axe.
Rena looked like she was like split open.
But Rika? I was like, yeah, Rika was eviscerated.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Rika was eviscerated. But I'm like, I was like, where did her clothes go? Like,
yeah, why is she butt ass naked?
Where are her organs? Like I would have, if I did that murder, I would have way more blood on me. I would have scratches.
But she wasn't thinking about that.
I know. She was more held.
Think about it. She's a child. And exactly. She's also dealing with abuse. Her mind is not in the best of states. I see some shit like that, I'm running the other way too. Fuck that.
I know. It was like, I think the one bad thing that happened, the one bad thing that I will not accept.
Oh, her pushing him? The force push?
force pushing him in that classroom
twice,
and pushing him through the bars of the bridge.
Bro.
Said,
that's
no.
ridiculous.
No.
Those things were ridiculous.
And then she had the force to shake the whole bridge.
Yes,
for him to lose his grip. I said, no way.
I was like, the crazy man. The crazy will do something to you. I swear to goodness, it gives you superpowers. Bro, she Shinra Tensei the fuck out of that man. I was like, Pain would be fucking proud.
He put his hand on her head. She said, no.
I was like, oh shit.
Push that man 5 feet full force into a wall.
I was like, how in the fuck? God. I was like, okay, maybe that was just a joke for the animation or something. Maybe they just, wanted to make it look all dramatic. And then she did it again. I was like, how the fuck? I was like, so they're doing this on purpose.
And then she pushed him off the bridge through the bars.
Yeah.
I was like, no. I was like, no.
That was a bit hard to believe. Now, unless it's revealed that she is like really strong because of her abused background, that maybe okay, sure, but man, those two things, I was just like, there's no fucking way. A little 8-year-old child pushed a 16-year-old boy 5 feet across the room into a wall, and then she threw up.
That's like
I was like, you nasty.
It's like a 100-pound little kid throwing
not
one of us across the room.
Bro, it's a female and she's 8 and she's scrawny like that. She is no more than like fucking 56 pounds or something, bro. Like, there's no way. There's no way. Her head weighs more than her body.
She launched that kid. Like, if she has that kind of strength, bro, my God.
You know what that reminded me of? It reminded me of that scene. I don't know if you remember this manga. We read it I think we both read it to completion. We used to talk like a lot about this. It was the Peephole manga. Nozoki Ano or something like that. When homegirl pinned dude down and tried to rape him. And we're like, nigga, if you don't sit the fuck up.
I was like, all he had to do was just sit up.
Right. When they tried to make the thing that she slammed him on his head so he had like a concussion or something. Like, no, that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
He ain't got no concussion.
Bro, he ain't got no concussion. She comes up to this man's chest and weighs like 100 pounds less than him. Just bullshit. That's straight bullshit.
He got no concussion.
He bullshit. He wanted it. That's all. But yeah, that's what that scene. That's exactly what that scene reminded me. I was like, what is with anime in this shit, man?
We don't know. And like the latest art that I'm watching is between the twins.
Yeah, it's the best one so far.
Man, when they had to force her to get them nails clipped off,
not me. Fuck that.
I would have cussed everybody out in that room and walked out.
Bro. Well, she did, though. She cursed everybody out, but she couldn't walk out. Jay was like, no, fuck that. Either I kill everybody that you care about, or who helped you, matter of fact, or you rip your nails out. Choice is yours. And she was like, well, shit, I don't want people to die because of me, so.
I was like, you are her sister. Like, you are her twin.
Okay.
Like,
David, she redeems herself a little bit in the next episode. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I hope so.
She does.
I was like,
it was actually really.
There's no.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm like, the whole tradition of this family is like,
oh, they're fucked up.
There's twins, right? So we gotta kill.
Yeah, we gotta kill one. Hey, bro,
twin.
it's like the concept of Kenpachis. Now we know where Taikubo got it from. There can only be one.
Why are we following this crazy old lady?
Because, Dave, you can't have two Kenpachis.
Like, what? I was like, you're not, old woman, you're not touching my child.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, who let this bitch in here? I told you I didn't want her here. They get her out. They're trying to strangle a baby, bro. I'm like, that. Y'all are wild in here, bro. Like,
for no reason. And like, they were gonna give like,
there was no reason.
They were gonna give this child like, she was gonna become the head of the family for some, like, that's a kid.
Well, they're grooming
she don't even know anything about life.
But that's They were grooming her. They were grooming her. It's kind of like back
like a king.
Yeah, like medieval times and shit where you had the prince and princess and they were groomed to be the next rulers or whatever. Same thing.
And that's when I finally realized, oh, this is a shitty town.
Oh yeah, no, these shitty people suck. Yeah.
That's what it finally dawned on me. I was like, oh, this is a shitty town full of shitty people.
But they made that They made that clearly. They clearly made that known when they said they're descendants of demons. I'm like, are you really? Okay, we're descendants of the demons who came down from the mountains. I'm like, y'all niggas is crazy. All right.
I'm telling you, when she had to take off her fingernails, I said, not me, not today. Those people just died in that room. 'Cause I am not about to give y'all the satisfaction of hearing me scream.
Well, she gave it to him. Willingly or unwillingly. Well, unwillingly at the latter half when she missed that second now. She's like, oh no, fuck this, it hurts too much. I'm done. Get me out. Take it all. They were like, oh no, fuck that. You started, you gonna finish it now. Bro, they put that bag on me, I would have fucking started. I would have been, I know she was already squealing, but like I would have been thrashing like fucking crazy. I would have took that whole machine with me.
Lonnie, I'll be practicing my swings.
Man. No, I'm talking about in that moment. I'm taking the whole machine with me. I'm like, no, fuck that. I'm done. This shit hurts. Like, get me out. Like, get the fuck off me. Don't put that bag on me. Get the fuck off me. I would have started spazzing.
After that whole little incident, practicing my swings. Or, I'm going to give me a gun.
Oh, don't you worry, David. Don't you worry. Hell is coming in this art. I promise you that. It gets fucking ridiculous. Like, and it all kind of it makes sense. It makes sense in the mind of this person, but it is batshit insanity that's about to ensue. I was just like, when she started like tripping on Bruh Man's little sister, and started hitting her when she threw her by her fucking head.
What if I was like, hey, you need to calm, like, she is a broken little girl. Like, she's gonna cry like this. It's okay for her to cry. But like, you need to stop taking advantage of him. You need to be a
now the thing was, I understood where she was coming from, and I got what she was saying. It made 100% sense. Satoko was clinging to her brother too much. She was way too clingy, and it was to a point where it's like, don't forget that your brother, who while he may be older than you, is still a human being who is a child who's going through the same shit. He can only handle so much, especially as a child. He can only handle so much.
I get it, but like, God,
no. She didn't have to do what she did to her. No. There's a different way to communicate that. She did not have to do that. That was too much. That was far too much. But I got what she was getting at. It was just, I was like, the execution wasn't there. you just.
No, man, I don't think the execution there was.
I understood the message. Brother. But like, or sis, I understood the message, but like, tone it down a few notches.
And then he had the gall of calling her up and asking for her forgiveness. I said, nigga, she almost brained your little sister with
fuck that. There's no talking. She was literally going to kill her. She picked up that chair. I was like, somebody stop her. Like, everybody just standing there and letting it happen. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
I was just standing there looking crazy.
Well, I mean, I get why though, because everybody else in there except for Reina was a child, I believe.
And also, like, remember, Reina is like, what's her name? Neon. She's not Neon.
Neon wasn't there because Shion was taking her place.
But like, Neon is like, she's like the head of the Yakuza family.
Yeah.
So whatever she says goes, right? And those kids don't know, like, if I stop her right now.
Yeah, true.
There could be consequences for my family if I, get involved in this.
Yep, true. That's the problem when you have you got 3 families that are the rulers of the fucking town. Like, why would you want to be there? Like, if I do something to slight them in any sort of way, my whole family's at risk. It's like a fucking hood mentality. Like, bro,
It's a shitty town full of shitty people.
Oh yeah, 100%. They
That
fucking
is
they're terrible. But
that is all there is to it.
yeah, no, but yeah, Higurashi is lit. It's not just a meme anime. It is a meme anime. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely a meme anime, but there is a lot of nuance to it that I was not expecting. Honestly, I really wasn't. I always thought it was just respected because of its meme potential. No, it was. I honestly I didn't understand the excitement when people found out it was getting remade. I mean, we know it's not a remake now, but I didn't understand people's excitement. I was like, oh, okay, cool. We get the meme animes back. Great, cool. I guess I'll watch it this time. I didn't expect to fucking get as addicted to it as I have. Like,
it's definitely bingeable in the age before binging.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing too with this. I think it is a much better binge show than it would be week to week. Because
I have seen the first 3 episodes of the remake, and I will say I will wait until it is finished.
Yeah, same.
Then go watch that because you don't. Because when I was watching that remake, I was thinking to myself, I remember the show being a lot faster than this. Like I remember like the first killings being like in the first episode.
Right.
Going back to the original series, I was completely wrong. I forgot the show is split up into arcs. There's always a time-wasting arc, then it's a conflict arc, then it's the murder arc.
Yep, pretty much.
I'm sorry. It's the time waster, then it's the disturbance, then it's the murder.
Yeah, the batshit insanity is always present, but it builds throughout the episodes in a certain arc. So yeah, I would maybe you probably don't have to wait for the whole thing to finish. Like maybe wait every 5 weeks, watch, because I think it's about each arc is 5 episodes except for this one that you're on now, 6.
Yeah,
there's a couple of exceptions, but most of the arcs are 5 episodes. So you let those 5 episodes play out and then come to that show and then watch it all 5 at once. You're gonna get a really good ass story. Because I will say, I was watching the remake and I'm like, this shit is boring as fuck. Like it was interesting for a couple moments, like when they would do that thing, like I don't know, or I don't want to talk about it, or stuff like that. I was like, okay, there's clearly something weird going on here. And then you see Homegirl at the top of the fucking cliff and her eyes are like all demoned out and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I was like, I thought shit was gonna pop off, but it didn't. And I was just like, okay, so let me go back and watch the original, especially after I found out that this was a sequel. I'm like, maybe I'm just not understanding. So
and in the remake, I hope they didn't
not remake,
ruin
sequel. It's a sequel.
In the sequel, I hope they didn't ruin like
the ending.
The ending of the show, like how Rita is basically trying to break the cycle.
Yeah, like,
I was like, come on, guys, y'all didn't have to show that. Y'all could have like showed because I think they do like in the remake, they do a good job of like giving like flashbacks of like Keiji beating the mess out of Rena and Neon, right?
Neon,
because his memories are starting to come back. Like I was in this position before.
Yeah, he's starting to realize. I think that might be part of the difference because I haven't seen the second season of Higurashi yet. I haven't gotten there. I'm still in the first season, but up into that, so far through all that we've seen in the first season of the original, nobody outside of Rika is aware of the previous events. So I think maybe what they're doing in the new series, everybody else is actually able to become aware of the shit that happened, which that's not going to be good. That's going to stir up a lot of bad blood.
All I got to say is if they can barely stand like knowing what they already know, what happens when you break the floodgates on all the memories of what happened? And like, who knows like how long this cycle's been going on? Like, we've only seen like
a few
5 or 6 cycles. This could have been going on for centuries. True. So it takes place in the 80s, right?
Yep.
And it's like it's a 4-year cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So you can actually do the math. Let's see. Hold on. 1 second. Give me 1 second. So this took place in like 1986.
I think before that actually.
So it starts in 19. Okay,
it's in the early 80s.
It starts in 1982, right? 1982. That's when the cycle starts because that's when homeboy kills his aunt.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Beat her to death with a bat.
So it's 2020. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's 38 years. So
from what we've seen alone.
So you do 38 divided by 4. It's been about 9 cycles of this. So 9 4-year cycles. And we don't know if the 4-year cycles ever complete.
No, they always complete. They always end the same way.
So this has been going on for about 38 years.
Yeah, but nobody else is aware of it except one person so far.
Exactly. So that's why she sounds so. That's why Rita sounds so adult.
Yeah,
at times.
because she is
like
she's 38, basically.
She's basically 38 years old.
Yeah, she has 38 years of experience that nobody else has.
And like she's already gone through this several times.
Yep. Because
in some cycles she lives, in some cycles she dies.
Well, no, nobody knows she never lives. Nobody.
Oh,
lives.
Yeah, that is true.
Remember, they all at the end of the day, they all die except maybe Keiichi, who was the only survivor at the end of the third arc because he fell in the river, so he didn't get contaminated. Mm-hmm. Not contaminated.
But he always goes crazy.
Well, yeah, he goes crazy. He's going to go crazy for whatever reason. Don't know why yet. If it really is a curse or something, I don't fucking know. That I think there is some level of supernatural shit that's going on, but I don't know if that is the cause of the deaths. Is what I'm saying. I think the people just have like these maniac episodes that cause these deaths. And I'm starting to think there might be shit. Just know there might be another group behind the scenes.
I don't know, because in the opening you always see like now I'm starting to imagine this town as a closed dimension, right? Mm-hmm. And the reason why the town punishes you from leaving this dimension is because there's nothing beyond like a certain distance.
Well, no, there is. Because there's Tokyo, remember? I
mean, yeah, there's Tokyo. There's quote unquote Tokyo, right?
No, there's definitely Tokyo.
Well, yeah. No, you're right. But it's like you always see like in the opening, you see like this gigantic dome opening up to the daylight, right?
Oh,
so that tells me is that like this is a closed world.
Yeah, but that could just be symbolism. I mean, you could take it literally, or it could just be symbolism. One of the. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't put anything past the fucking show. Honestly, especially after what I just saw. Like, I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore.
There's no. It's like the time cycles usually have like, what is the goal? What are we trying to achieve here? Like, what are we trying to achieve, and how can we break this time cycle?
Right. Like,
and so far, no one. It is designed to fail. Like, there's no way we can get past this. Like, there's no way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm honestly wondering if that's the actual curse, the loop itself.
And like, did it start because these people wanted to stay in their town? So they basically made a deal.
Know. That's what I think.
I think that's what happened. I think they all, like the heads of the families, right? They said like, oh, our town is about to be destroyed by this dam. Let's make this contract with this demon. The demon said, oh yeah, I can give you all the time you ever wanted in this town.
That's the thing, yo. I don't know if the 3 families are 100% the perpetrators of the murders.
Oh, so it's bigger than that. that?
I think there's a fourth party involved. That's what I'm saying.
Oh Lord!
Also, what I just saw, I think there might be, when you finish it, I think you'll pick it up too, because there's a couple things that some characters say that indicate the three families legitimately didn't know about certain things happening, but they went along with it anyway, and it just played in their favor.
I don't know. It's like, if it's like, I don't know. It's like, what could cause a time loop?
Well, no, only supernatural things could cause something like that. 100% sure of that. But I don't know. So we know Rika is a priestess. She can communicate with Lord how do you say his name? Hold up. Oh shit. One sec. It's here somewhere. She can communicate with Oyashiro. She can communicate with Oyashiro.
Well, we don't know if Oyashiro is real.
I think he is. Because Rika has no reason to lie about something. She told the dude, the detective guy, not the asshole one, the actual good guy, that she can communicate with Oyashiro, as well as she knows she can predict what's going to happen in the future. She had no reason to lie about any of that to him. And we know for a fact that she can predict the future because she's seen it before. She's gone through it before multiple times. Oyashiro, I think, is trying to intervene with what's going to happen to his people. Because those people still worship him. So for him, for a deity, those are his subjects. He wants to protect them regardless. He may have done the loop. He's probably the cause of the loop. He's looping it to save their lives. Because he knows what's going to happen. He knows all his subjects are going to die. The people who worship him, they're all going to die. Because of this gas leak. So
he's basically trying to... He needs them to survive because he needs them to worship him.
Yeah, I mean,
he's basically infinitely feeding himself by keeping them all alive because he can't get them to leave that area.
I think it's less of. I don't think he's being as selfish as you're probably thinking. I think instead of him feeding off of them, I think he's legitimately trying to save his subjects. Yeah, I mean, it could be a selfish reason, but either way, it doesn't change the fact that he's trying to save their lives. I think he needs them. Like he clearly needs them, or maybe he just wants them because there's still people after all this time who still care about me. That's great. I don't want you all to die though, so let me try and fix this. But he can't interfere with anything himself, so he creates a loop. He can communicate with Rika like, hey Rika, so you all fucking die because of this fucking gas leak. I'm trying to fix it, but I can't do anything about it. You're the only one who can talk to me, so I'm making you aware of this loop. You have to figure out something to stop this loop. Now, mind you, there's a whole bunch of other shit that's going on outside of just this gas leak that's going to kill you all at the end. There's so much other shit to figure out. So I think it's just like it's just a fuck tonnery of, it's just a bunch of shit. It's just a bunch of shit that happens. A bunch of shit that's happening.
What would happen if Natsuki Subaru was stuck in a time loop and it's like
this is basically the second arc of ReZero. Literally.
Yeah.
Like the village right now. Yeah, it's basically what it is. This is what's happening. There's always something more to this. There's like, we have this big issue here, but then there's all these other small issues that are just as bad. And we gotta fix this shit before we can fix this shit.
But you don't even see the hand behind the curtain that's controlling everything around you.
That's what I'm saying. There's always just one more. There's just another issue on top of another issue, hidden behind another issue, underneath this other issue. There's just a spider web of problems.
It just never. It's amazing.
I would go insane.
Oh man. I think those people in the when the little crazy laugh, Oh, you think that's crazy? Oh, I would just gone deadpan. I would just
Oh
looked at
yeah.
everyone like I wouldn't smile and was like, eh, oh well,
I'm
I
in a
guess
fucking
this.
mode. I'm like, you know what? Because I probably already would have. See, for me to get the fucking mode, I would have already gone insane at some point.
Oh yeah,
And after dying in insanity 2 times, I would have been like, fuck it. I don't even care anymore. I'm a vegetable. I'm gonna be a vegetable. That's just all. Because I'm like,
yeah. I probably watched TV the whole time.
nothing else I can do. We're dead. We all die. We all die. This is all just. Yeah, man. I couldn't be in a loop. Fuck that. I couldn't be in a loop. I couldn't be aware that I'm in a loop. That's what I should say. I could never be aware that I'm in a loop. Because I would go. I think people aren't built to survive. People aren't built to die and come back. I know that for a fact. You're not built to die and come back.
Because it's gonna dawn on you like, how many times have we done this? Oh, we've done this like 100 times. Oh.
And then it's just your brain is just like, but why? And then you're like, you know what? Why even do anything? Fuck it. And that's just what happens. That's just what happens. The human mind is not equipped to come back from death. And that's why I'm like, I couldn't be aware that I'm in a loop. Don't want to be.
Man, you know what? I kind of look forward to the remake because I think
Not
what we're talking about,
sequel.
the floodgates are starting to open. Like people are starting to
everybody else is becoming aware.
Like they're starting to realize, like, oh no, I've done horrible things. I've done horrible things multiple times.
David, when you finish this one, when you finish the arc that you're on, there's one person that does not need to remember what they did. There's one person in particular. I mean, there's a few people who shouldn't remember what they did because it's going to drive them crazy. But there's one person that they never need to know. Because if you unleash that thing again, it's not good for anybody. Not good for anybody. If that thing becomes aware, it's over. And I swear to goodness, if it really is the case of the new series that everybody's becoming aware of the dirt in the past, when that one person remembers, oh shit. Stay away from that person.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh, you know.
Like,
I won't confirm for you, but I'm not going to confirm it. But
Rita must never remember what she is and what she has done.
You said Rita?
Yeah.
You mean Rika?
Not Rita. What's her name?
Raina?
Rena must never remember or never know who she is. Cause I can already see, like, there's a reason why she always gravitates towards that hatchet. There's a reason. And like, there have been scenes in the show where like she just breaks down mentally. Like she just goes into like this monologue, and as she's going through the monologue, her eyes just go like, oh god, the insanity, the horror.
I wonder. No, she's not. She can't be. I wonder if she's aware. Because, like I said, I'm on her arc now. Finally, I'm going to get her arc to finally see what the fuck her issue is. Because I know next to nothing about her outside of the fact that she believes she's cursed.
I don't know.
She believes she's cursed because she left the village. So she hears. She's haunted by the curse, pretty much, and that drives her insanity. That's her driving force behind her insanity.
I think she might be Rika is the positive force in the show.
Raina's the negative.
Raina must be the negative.
That's possible. That is possible.
Because she does know, like deep down, I think she does know what's going on in the town. But she's so broken about the things she's experienced and the life she has lived. She's basically like, everyone gotta die.
What if she's the perpetrator of the murders?
She could not be the perpetrator of the murders because she wasn't old enough
No, she was there for the dismemberment.
Yeah, I mean, she could have done that, but it's like, why?
Because she thinks she's cursed.
But like,
she did it to save the village.
What was the first? I think we as the audience have to witness the first cycle.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we do.
If we know the reason before, like, the dam, yes, is a reason why everyone is up in arms against the government.
Well, the dismemberment though is what popped everything off. This curse.
What was the first? What was the first instance of the curse?
It was that dismemberment.
It was a dismemberment. A couple gets pushed into the river,
and a priest dies.
A priest dies, and an aunt dies. A lady dies. Mm-hmm. It's beaten to death, and a boy gets spirited away.
Mm-hmm.
That's the order of events that's what starts the engine.
It's really that dismemberment. That's really what started it. 100% it was the dismemberment. And I could be wrong. But I'm almost positive that the dismemberment is what set off the chain of murders. So Raina might be a serial killer. That might be a thing.
I mean, she already is more intelligent than she lets on, because she's a detective, because she can basically, like, if she's given a crime scene, she can basically, like, tell exactly what happened in the crime scene for no. It's like she has, like, these mythical powers to, like, take, like, minutia of evidence and, like, spawn, like, an entire crime scene from, like, she basically knew that Rika had left the house because the soy sauce bottle was gone. I was like, how would you know? It's like, I mean, she's talking about, like, oh, she made miso soup, and the last thing you add to miso soup is tofu, and tofu is in the refrigerator untouched.
You know what that reminds me of? Remember Black Dynamite when they were trying to figure out the mystery of the I think it was what were they doing? They were cutting black dudes' dicks off or some shit, and they were trying to figure out who was behind that. And they were in that restaurant, and they were putting all those random ass pieces together to come up to solve the mystery. That was Raina. Raina was in that room.
Well, I was like, when I saw that, I was like, I told you, I was like, how did she get all this stuff from a bottle of soy sauce?
Hey man, ask Black Dynamite. That's how they figured it out. A bunch of random ass coincidences. A bunch of random ass coincidences solved the mystery.
Oh, and I think it actually hit home for me when she got in the back of that police car, and she basically.
Oh, you're just using him.
She read the detective. I was like.
But she wasn't wrong about him, though. He was.
She wasn't
He's
wrong.
always been doing that. He's been doing that from the beginning. The first one.
Yeah, and that was the frightening part. I was like, so she isn't crazy. Like, she actually can put things, like, her contact, like, her critical thinking. Like, she's the opposite of Keiichi. Because Keiichi needs to be put, like, he's intelligent too.
Oh, yeah.
But he has to be put, like,
the problem has to be a certain. Yeah.
Yeah, the problem has to be presented in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
But for her, she can take the problem in its raw form and draw a conclusion from that.
True.
So they're opposites.
Yeah,
so
they are. Yeah, no, she's like I said, up until this point, she's been an enigma. I don't know shit about her outside of the fact that she left the town once. She believed she was cursed. She snapped and bashed all the windows out of a school with a metal bat. And she carries a hatchet around with her. And I'm almost positive she dismembered somebody. I'm almost positive because I think in that trash heap, she hid the body there. I think she always goes there just to make sure it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that is her thing. I think she dismembered the body and she covered it up. But I don't know. Honestly, like I said, I'm about to find out though in the next 20 minutes after I take a shower. I'm about to find out in the next 20 minutes. I promise you that shit because I'm watching these last 5 episodes of this first season because I gotta know. I gotta know what her deal is. But yeah, David, do you have anything else to talk about with Higurashi?
Great show before its time. I look forward to the remaining season and the next season.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we had a pretty lengthy discussion on that. I mean, that was the main topic, so rightfully so. I think. Would you want to revisit it once we finish the first season and get into the second season?
Yeah, I'll be fine with that.
All right. So yeah, next week, possibly, I believe, we will revisit. Oh, excuse me. We revisit the classic Higurashi, and give our thoughts and opinions and speculations on that as well. And yeah, if you enjoyed this episode of the Con Anime Podcast, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and tune in next week for more of this, I guess. Yeah.
All right.
To get my happiness, I have done everything. But had nothing to be brave.
おい大丈夫かよ。
間に合ったできた、全部できた。私が殺した